Greatest football player of all time, end of discussion. So I guess we're going beyond, Nate, quarterbacks, because I don't think that there's even a discussion to be had there. Is he the greatest player of all time?
Well, let me stop you right there. There still is a discussion. I mean, there's been some greats at the quarterback position.
Sure,
so we can't discredit.
What do you got, Nate?
Well, I'm just saying we can't discredit guys from your past.
So they're great.
There still will be guys that we can throw in the argument. But to answer your question, Kay, yes, Tom Brady is the greatest football player of all time. Now, there's going to be people that will stand up and say, well, what about our favorite athletes or the greatest athletes? But we're not talking about that. We're talking about greatness and how it stands in the sense of winning. Being in the Super Bowl 7 times, winning 5 of them. From what he did and where he was at this season, I think it really defines who the Patriots are. There's so many people that are indifferent about the Patriots, and let's be honest, there's so many people that hate the Patriots.
Sure.
I mean, we're getting lit up by the Twitter world right now. They're sick, but you can't argue with what they did this year, and if there is a direct reflection of their season, it's this game. I mean, they were down. They were behind. When you thought it was over, just like early in the season, Tom Brady being out, you said, oh, well, that hole is going to be too big for them to dig out of.
Not a chance.
Tom Brady's too old. They don't have Gronk.
Oh, Gronk.
All these different things that we were talking about that will define the season or the lack of season they will have, all of a sudden we see the type of game that reflects that. And guess what? Patriots come out, they adjust in the second half, they fix a few things, they have more energy than Atlanta, and Tom Brady leads his team to one of the most entertaining Super Bowls I've ever seen. So, okay, yes, to answer your question, he is the best football player I've ever seen, ever laid my eyes on. And yes, some of it has to do with who he plays for. Some of it has to do with the team. But majority of it has to do with how clutch he is in the biggest moments ever and how much jewelry he has in his jewelry box.
I feel like I know he's the greatest of all time because I not for a second in that game thought that they weren't going to win it.
Really? Really?
No,
Oh, no, I thought it was over.
I knew I couldn't go to sleep because I was like, nope, I know it's about to happen. I know that there's, or at least I know that there's a great chance that this could happen. I think he might have won people over last night. People
I hope so.
Who want to hate the Patriots. You can't hate what you saw. That is excellence personified.
Yes.
It was so extraordinary how dominant he is. And he keeps reestablishing and redefining how great he is. 466 yards, he broke that record. He holds every record that there is. He ranks first in every major postseason statistical category. He keeps sort of like reinventing ways to show how great he is. That comeback. Oh, I broke the comeback record 2 years ago. I'll do it again by 25. It's unbelievable. Peter, tell me you agree.
I agree, Kay. And Nate, you spot on, nailed it again. It's symbolic of the season. And, you mentioned all those things that happened. Well, you could also add in that they trade Jamie Collins at the midway point of the season, their best defensive player, arguably. And Chandler Jones gets traded in the offseason. And they lose Gronk. And they just keep on finding a way. But when you talk about the greatest player of all time, you could also talk about this game being symbolic of his career. Talking about a guy who was a 6th-round pick who had 6 other quarterbacks taken before him, and the Patriots passed on him several times before they drafted him. And what happens? Counted out. They keep him on the roster. He's a 4th quarterback. Drew Bledsoe goes down. He comes in, and we come all the way back. And then once again, the controversies, the setbacks, the adversities, the injury when he gets hit by Bernard Pollard. And then we go into these Super Bowl losses to the Giants. And yet Brady finds a way every single time to get back up. And last night, Kay, he was humanized beyond belief because now you have this personal connection with him. He hadn't heard about his mother's illness the entire season. He kept it into his small community. And then on the grandest of stages, international audience, hundreds of millions of people. Wait till you see the number of the rating of this game. Hundreds of millions of people watching. Him just breaking down vulnerability because he conquered. He's 5-2 in the Super Bowl. 5-2. And I'll tell you, Kyle, I know you'll know this because we talk about sports radio debate. If he goes 4-3 in Super Bowls and they get blown out by the Atlanta Falcons, it's a very different discussion of who's the greatest player of all time this morning. It's Brady. Maybe he doesn't always bring it in Super Bowls, but Montana was flawless and Bradshaw was flawless and Jim Brown and Jerry Rice. No. Tom Brady's the greatest football player to ever live, and he did it again last night. He personified everything that the NFL stands for.
And who am I to disagree with Jim Harbaugh or Nate Burleson, and certainly Peter Schrager? But I am going to go the other way. He is not the greatest football player ever. I think he's the greatest athlete ever.
Whoa.
Nate, I'm thinking about this. Now let's talk about let's talk about this.
We're both Jordan fans.
I'm glad you brought that up. All right.
Okay.
Tom Brady's 39. At this point in his career, Jordan is a back-to-the-basket, turnaround jump shooter with the Wizards. At this point in his career, Muhammad Ali is losing 3 of his last 4 fights, a shell of the fighter he used to be. At this point of his career, Derek Jeter is a middle infielder with limited mobility, batting .256 in his final season. Tom Brady dropped back 70 times last night, got the hell kicked out of him, kept getting back up, willed the team to win. I'm willing, Kay, to go bigger than greatest athlete. Is he the greatest man ever? Is he FDR, Gandhi, Paul Rudd, the greatest people of this generation, 100% approval rating? I'm all in on Brady. I think he's the greatest athlete we've ever seen. And I know everyone watching is throwing up at the screen because they hate New England. This is the day. He keeps getting better, Kay. He says he's going to play till 56 years old. I believe him.
Terry Bradshaw said, let's say you win. What's next? Are you done? And he goes, hell no. That was his answer.
And here's the thing. You know, I'm not mad at you. I would disagree. I would disagree with you right now. But here's the thing about Tom Brady. He will play another 5 years. Robert Kraft still will be there. Bill Belichick will be there. Oh, and not to mention, Gronk's getting healthy.
Yeah, he does without Gronk.
It's not going to blow your mind.